following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
Bowie wowie!
Of course! Of course!
How many times have I murmured that name in my sleep? And now I have found it. Here be my shovel. Thou hast a poor weapon.
Yes.
Hammer.
Thank you. This is much more to my like.
'Tis yours.
What, to keep?
Aye.
Thank you, my lady.
I have all the weapon I need. 'Tis an interesting shovel.
Oh, so it's not just like a... It's actually
Oh
like a
no,
special...
this is a special shovel made of interesting materials. Strange metals and different carbonaceous looks to it. Largely red shaft.
That is a very distinct looking weapon or implement you have there.
Morticians do not do violence, but I am no mortician. A weapon suitable for one, though, be a grave shovel, that I may dig a grave to entomb the bones of the dead, and also propel them into it.
So I imagine, if you, again, do not mind my asking...
That has not stopped you yet.
Sorry, I am curious.
Aye, thou art.
I imagine mortician has a far more significant meaning where you come from than it does here.
She'll lean against the sarcophagus and look at you. I must apologize. In my arrogance, I did think knavish things of this land and the people within it. I did think wrongly that they, in their ignorance and savagery, they turned aside from the proper ways and abandoned knowledge. 'Tis clear that thou art impoverished. A piteousness I feel for you now, for thou dost not have proper rights and preservation. Much you have lost, and so have strayed in ignorance. A mortician is one who prepares the dead properly, so that they may go on to judgment.
Yes.
They perform the correct rituals, tend to the tombs, graves, and fires. They are the ones who say the holy sacred words. They are aside and above, but also below. They do not have law but their own. You must...
We have such things. The definition is the same, but we have no special reverence for these people.
You have no special reverence for those who take care of your dead and usher their souls off?
Well,
How?
we do have reverence for them, but we do not... They are not treated on the same level as like a paladin or a knight or...
A knight?
Yes.
No.
Except maybe I'm not as familiar with our interpretations of Lady Death and her means of going there. Perhaps morticians are worth a lot more to them. But here, any person can become a mortician. Like, there are peasants who become...
She gags visibly. And you let them walk around, saying the things and doing that. You just let them walk around, eat with normal people.
Yes, they... Are you alright?
Oh, it's disgusting. It's unclean. I must not judge. Oh, but how I want to. I could not live in such a place. Oh, just anyone. How do you know they're doing it right?
Well,
Obviously they're not.
perhaps they are not, but they do have procedures that they go through, works they say. I mean, I have performed death rites myself for people. Are you all right, my lady? I'm sorry if
May he watch over you, who is judge of all the world, and may she guide your path to your inevitable grave, where you will rest in peace.
Thank you.
There is the dark times coming, and this is clear evidence.
I apologize if I have insulted you or...
It is not you who have insulted me, it is the callous disregard for proprietary society and culture. It is disturbing when one has grown up with proper ways to visit barbarian tribes who live basically like orcs.
I apologize if I have offended you and...
You do not offend me.
Well,
It is not for me to be offended.
But I have also taken part in said rituals now.
Oh, God, don't remind me, please, gods. And he calls himself Saphira. Perhaps it is destiny.
I am curious about these, visions you've had of me.
I shall wipe that smile from thine face.
I'm sorry.
Let us move on. We have only moved 5 times.
I assume we were walking it.
Oh, so you've been jumped.
Possibly, I mean... I don't know when the next things are. Although we would have stopped at one point because she didn't fall against the wall and things like that.
But in front of you is a stiff oak door with a hefty lock.
Don't suppose you have a key?
I do.
Huh? After you, my lady.
There is a sound of like iron moving around in the
Do
lock.
that.
Clunk, clunk, and clunk.
So does it really glows like that?
Oh yeah, this is like an accurate prop. There, it is open.
That is a remarkable wand you have.
'Tis a key. You see, when one wants a key, one asks the spirits for the key. And they ask the mountain of fire, and it puts the key into the molten stone which flows from it. Then hardy smiths do take the key from the molten stone and forge it into its innate self. Mythics pray and enchant it with their special powers, and soon, well, it is for morticians, but I have one. After all, the grave is no bar to me.
I get the feeling you weren't supposed to.
She'll push the door up, which just grinds open. Big man, go first.
Of course.
Perhaps a transmutation spell could change thou into And then skeletons, notice you. They're like, I was holding that for a while just to do that right then. Good luck.
Thank you.
Go first, go. Now attack, go.
I'm going to
No time for thinking, do.
turn undead.
That's not going to be helpful.
Oh, not? Why not?
This is the end of the road. Where have they got to run? The corner? And then you attack them and they all turn.
But if I roll high enough, they just...
Oh, okay. Yep. No, you're right. I forgot about that. Wait, they're just base level skeletons. Don't you blow them up anyway? Without rolling?
I still have to get to... Where are we?
I don't know. In the lounge? Thank God.
Oh no, yeah, they do. They just...
Don't you have to roll for the number of them affected, though?
Yeah.
Alright, let's hope you don't get all of them.
Which is a 12, I believe.
Now come on, say the words. Oh, you gotta roll for a so you know which words to say, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah. 10, and there looks to be less than 10 in there.
Oof.
Man, I have to find the turn undead thing over.
Yeah.
That for
I
ages.
already thought you were gonna need it cleaning out crits. Oh, look at that! Yeah! I love these things.
I said, yeah! Oh, I still have to roll to determine the d20 to determine how severe it is. Where did I even put? Oh, there. The white dice is hidden on the paper. Tree!
It's not very severe at all.
No. It would be trespass no longer upon the living. And then he does the flora. Be gone from my sight, I abjure thee!
Well, there goes a fucking whole encounter just blown away. Right, why do I bother having minis for these things? We could have just fucking done it without the fuck. I could have been sitting down. Alright, fuck you. Adequate.
Is she unlocking something?
One of the sarcophagus is locked.
Oh, okay. But is she gone over to one and she's looking into one?
Yes.
What are you looking for, my dear?
How quickly and naturally you fall into calling people my dear. And she will throw open the sarcophagus and begin rooting around inside. Just nothing. Worthless and more.
I'm going to do a search for secrets in this area.
I was waiting for the Alpha experience.
God damn it! It went into Renomir's belt. Oh, there it is. No. What do you search for? Anything? Nothing?
How indiscriminate that.
What do you search for? You know that what you seek is not here.
I seek more than one thing.
Ah. I was mostly seeking if there was any more to this place than there initially appeared. I mean, the way those nobles grinned when I was sent down here seems to suggest that it was more than just a small handful of skeletons.
There were many traps, but I have disabled them all ahead of time.
So that is why they did not function. I assumed they were just old and no longer in working order.
Nay, though this place do fall down about our ears,
I hope.
someone hath maintained the devilish mousetraps within.
My friend has a similar device, though it lacked that.
No doubt it is a primitive simulacrum of a much finer, preserved Imperial secret.
It does not glow or move in the same manner that yours does.
Superficial. Somewhat, the glow and the sound are to deter villains from using it at night so that they may not watch without. The sound and the light attract the guard and the cat, you see. No thievery here, but for a just intruder who cares not if someone comes upon them in the just performance of their duty, 'tis slide it back into a little tube on her belt.
Don't suppose you've got an extra one?
Aye, that I do, though it does not perform the same function. Tis my way home.
Well, would you like me to assist you in searching for whatever it is you seek?
Nay, there are no hidden compartments, or that would have been revealed by mine wand.
So is this really all there is to this place?
'Tis small, though there are many walls. Built into the walls. There are many like stacked crypts, Draugr style.
Interesting that they did not take care of all of their tombs. In fact,
This is what happens in a land without morticians.
hast thou noticed that all the ones I have looked within do not contain any evidence of any dead?
Nay, thine just consigned them to the dust. Good job.
But there is more than, well, let me think about this, 6 or 7 crypts in this place.
Aye. Those ones on the wall appear well secured. But perhaps you are not the first who hath been sent with many a sly grin to his untimely end.
Which would mean there would be more bodies down here than just those housed within the crypts.
I countenance them not.
Although I do believe I found some. I got this tattered armor and
Aye,
what passes for...
and thou must be well proud of thine peasant's farm gear. Her armor is shiny gold. There's like a almost carbon fiber look undersuit that's like in a deep red. Well, what armor she's wearing.
Depends.
Yeah.
This is not my normal attire. That was
Nay,
destroyed.
unfortunate. Thou will need it to fulfill prophecy, surely.
It was Tor's will that I do not possess it anymore for one reason or another.
Yes,
Perhaps...
he did descend from the heavens with Kor and Anatathar to attack you and your small band, to prove your commitment.
Oh, so you did see that?
I did not know it was thou himself until now, but
Perhaps he thought...
But that was not thine armor. That armor was flashy, but not thine. Where was its mighty shoulders? Where was its waist cape? Where was it the holy iconography? The detailed scrollwork? Nay, 'twas not. Thou could do better.
I was probably being punished for the many sins I've committed while entering this country.
Many sins.
Yes.
Inappropriate name-taking, perhaps?
No.
Please say it be so.
Escorting magisters in places where they should not be.
Ooh. Magisters are forbidden here.
Yes.
How backward. How does one maintain an empire without magic?
Tell that to the Burmans. Although they seem to
I
be...
shall. Lead me to the Burmans.
It'd probably best not. They'll probably try to arrest you or something.
Then they shall fall, and then they
All of
shall. And I shall take their souls, and their bodies shall rest in peace. Then perhaps I should stay here longer, digging holes and taking souls.
I would not recommend it, but I will not
No,
deter you.
It would be bad to stay here, with its bright skies and cloudless days and entirely too cold weather.
Too cold.
Far too cold. Although, I am fortunate in that I feel not the cold, in a debilitating sense. If anything, I cannot fully enjoy the heat of the fire pools, for I am so cursed. When one is raised with morticians in the cold of the grave, one adapts. Thou dost not think less of me.
No, of course not.
Good. For a moment I thought I would earn disapproval for not being able to breathe fire or such.
'Tis normal to breathe fire.
Nay, only the most elite with the purest bloodlines can do such. My sister can. I breathe frost. The grave frost.
Interesting.
'Tis interesting.
We don't-
'Tis a flaw.
We do not have those that can breathe fire and frost or any other elements.
How far thou hast fallen. Are thy bloodlines truly so muddied? Or is this a human thing?
I believe it is just a human thing.
As the dwarf and elf cannot breathe fire either. Interesting. I thought the humans were close to akin to our brothers. Ah, surely thou must have other feats that make up for thy lack.
No.
A race of children, no horns. Thou beest one of two man-sized things I have seen of late.
Oh, you're probably talking about Sir Reinhardt.
Aye. Much like my father be he. Perhaps a little bigger, though much less skilled and capable.
Your father must be rather impressive.
He is. I am a pale shadow in comparison, but that is not my path, so I feel no shame.
As long as he's proud of you.
I will not know.
No, my father and I never got along that well. He always got along better with my older brother.
Their father was the son of a traitor. I
Wait.
believe.
Wait, how much do you know about me?
If thou art Saphiro, then thou art descended from a lineage of kings. In the land of Normir, the thorn in the dark's hand.
Yeah, so it would seem.
Ah,
No, just like this.
I thought only myself and my party knew about that.
What party?
And not even all of them.
Studio exit, and then also down.
Are you alright, my lady?
I art distressed. Most heartily.
I'm not sure if I am doing you harm or not by being around you. Perhaps we should return.
It do matter little.
If you are done here, perhaps we should return to the surface.
Locking the door.
No.
Does that think I should rearm the many pitfalls and traps?
That is a good question. I mean, that is how you found the place. Would it be the just thing to do?
Tiring.
Oh, that affects you as well.
It tires one.
That is very similar.
Energy must come from somewhere.
That is very similar to my friend's one then.
Perhaps he should surrender that to more reliable hands.
Well, I
It
mean,
would not be well for a child to be running around with such a tool.
he does not use it often, only when locks vexate us. Well, at least to my knowledge, who knows what he does with it when I am not watching. Who knows what he's doing with it right now?
If thou dost not trust this young one, perhaps thou should cut him loose.
He is... How shall I put this?
Succinctly,
He is... stubborn, arrogant.
as was I.
He does not know his place. He speaks when he should remain silent.
Dost thou truly level this accusation upon him?
Yeah.
That he has spoken when silence should prevail upon him.
Yes, for example, when somebody who is more
Then-
important than him is speaking and does not want to be interrupted,
Ah,
he will
that is what thou
become
means.
impetuous, and that's probably the best way of putting it. He is
I
impetuous.
had thought you recommend his execution. Clearly, there are much differences between our peoples.
We execute people for saying things when they shouldn't.
To be voluminous when thou should be silent holds special connotations.
Ah.
For example, if one who is not a mortician were to say certain things, and they should be exiled or killed.
Yes. I mean, we do have similar things that if you say something in the presence of a lord and insult said lord, then he can just rightfully kill you there on the spot.
A just punishment for foolishness.
And Hadron has come potentially close to such a thing in the past. We are lucky, in fact, that no such fate has befell us so far.
Well, thou hast cleansed the location of its undead.
Yes, I do not know what...
You guys are having a conversation right outside the tomb, and there's just a small group of guards right over there.
Oh, okay. I do not know if I
Like
was
looking
supposed
at you
to
both.
bring back anything to... Oh. Hello. 'Tis done.
Well, we'll be the judge of that. Shoulders past you and heads on inside. You hear the sound of a heavy stone block falling and going scrunch. Ah!
I looked to Saphira. Sorry, I looked to the golden... the golden-skinned woman with the horns.
Excuse me. I have work to do. Turns around, heads back inside. The other guy's like, you reset the traps? Why would you do that?
'Twas not I.
You consort with devils.
Devils would not be clerics of Tor.
And you don't claim to be anything. Devil, look at it. It's filthy.
That's not how I describe it.
It is a succubus that takes on a pleasing shape. but you could tell it by its evil devil horns, and that its skin is wrong colour.
I find it quite fetching.
You sicken me.
Probably.
Well, let us take you back to the court so you can be judged. Hate it when evil people get away with everything.
I'm going to bite my tongue. That's the thing that I could have said.
You'll get back and the Archduke will be there. Survive?
Down on one knee.
No. Just the first tomb, yes? Right, yeah. Then there's another task for the survivor, yes? And that is one I'm going to have to give with the whole group here.
Huh?
So that's you done, son.
No, I didn't get.
Don't you just want to kiss these lips?